Today is 20th November. Market trade a small body up 6.6 point at 4511. Our immediate support is actually at this level here, 4479, and resistance is at a prior high here of 4575. If you take a look at the bigger pictures, the moving averages has been weaving in and out. So it shows that the market is not very directional, and every rally are followed by very deep retracement. So it's a bit more challenging than before. So we got to be more selective in our stock selections and perhaps scale back our trading and trade the very obvious strong stocks. If you take a look at the channel line analysis, market is actually trading within a bullish channels, and right now it's actually testing the up, it retraced from the upper channel line. So we may expect further downward move to test the lower channel line. So as I mentioned before, every rally has been accompanied with deep retracement. So if we were to take a trade, sometimes it's important to lock in profit quicker in the current market environment. This is the weekly charts of Nasdaq. If you notice, we have a gap here, which is very strong on the weekly charts, but unfortunately it was covered, which negated the positive sentiment developed over here, and we see further retracement even though it reject the lows. But if you take a look at the daily chart itself, it's actually trading with lower high, and if you were to plot the major moving averages, it is currently trading below the 50 days moving average, which is in a sense negative. If you take a look, this has not been actually tested before, and this is the first time it actually break the 50 SMA. So it's important to actually watch the 100 days, feeling which it may test the 200. Now we do not have actually fairly meaningful pullbacks, and right now we are experiencing it. Take a look at the charts of S&P 500, quite similar. This is the daily charts. We're making lower high, and it actually broke this low here. So again, it's trailing below 1326 SMA. Now if you plot again the major moving averages, you actually broke the 50 days, now approaching the 100 days. So we just have to be more careful at this point in time. This is the chart of spot gold. Mentioned in the previous videos that after this run-ups, it is more likely to be start in the trailing range, consolidating very much like this. If you take a look, actually we are experiencing two big swing already, and this is the next swing. So it will continue to be like this. Basically we just have to digest the recent run, and that will probably take some time. Brent crude, there's nothing to really look at talk about, because it's just stuck in the trailing range. Okay, quite listless. The 10-year treasury yield has gone up slightly, and this is probably attributed to the fact that there's some uncertainty over the interest rate cut in December, and if the cut did not materialize, then we like to see further strengthening of the treasury yield, and this is generally negative for equity market. Let's take a look at some of the stock we have been discussing. This is CSE Global. Very strong move, quite evident from the 1326, the rising and diverging. Over here itself we have an extension bar, so usually we don't expect it to continue to run up, and more likely to just trade sideways, and this is what we are experiencing right now. We will prefer if the stock can continue to actually trade sideways, close out of daylight, before it take out this high here of 101. Now if there is a follow through, because today there was a test, if there's a follow through, just think note that perhaps we need to lock in profit much quicker, because usually if the stock is overextended, any breakout sometimes may have limited upside. ASL Marine, this stock experiencing pullback, and right now this is a small deeper setup. Bar high here is at 285 for the Empire. Now this stock actually succumbs to selling after the placements of shares, treasury shares, and then what happened was that over here itself we see a rally followed by another pullback on slightly lower volume, and basically there's nothing much we can do at this when over here, because they are stuck within the trading range. But this gap here actually changed the dynamic of the stocks. This is a bullish gap and it closed very well, and followed by another gap here, followed by a pullback. If you take a look, we do have high volume resistance at this level here. This is 265, so we look for a decisive break above 265, and at this point in time, it is a small deeper setup. Bar high here is 267, which is above the high volume resistance. China Aviation Oil. Here we have very nice run up, but unfortunately we have this pullback. Stop was actually trading sideways, which is generally nice. Notice a low volume, but whatever the case may, it's more likely to actually continue to trade sideways, basically to consolidate. We'd like to look for a eventual break above this high here of 161. Sheng Siong, one of the strongest stock of late. Now if you take a look, this is a very nice consolidation breakout. And if you notice, prior to the breakouts, we do see the volume here very low, which is a good thing. And after the breakout, this is the first pullback. Again, you saw, notice the volume drying up. This again is a sign of strength, and followed by a breakout again. Now this is the second setup, and right now we have the third setup. Bar high here is at 273. Nam Cheong. We experienced a very strong move yesterday. Today we have a follow through. This is a small deeper break, but unfortunately didn't close well. Likely to pull back. During the pullback, look for setups and eventually look for a break above this high here of 91 cents. We discussed the palm oil stock previously over the last video, that this is at this point in time the strongest sector. Here we have a very nice move and experiencing a inside day today on low volume, which is a good thing. This is a rabbit ahead setup. Bar high is 160. First Resources, very nice consolidation break, and over here we have a reduction in the range, which is a positive thing. And this, at this point in time, a contraction setup. Bar high is at 223.